But did you know there's such a thing as lunch shaming? And it's just rampant across the nation. So now, coming home to Wisconsin here, we have a couple stories that are Wisconsin related. The first being this lunch shaming bill that is aiming to give all kids access to school meals. Now, the state assembly has put out a bill, AB 84, and it says it's guaranteeing that every child gets access to school breakfast and lunch programs, even if the parents can't pay for it, or even if the parents can pay for it.
That's the point, Katie.
Exactly.
The point is not that the kids that can't afford it aren't getting fed. The point is that to make those kids feel like they're not being treated as poor kids, we can't have these kids seem to recognize the fact that they're getting charity. And so consequently, we're going to feed rich kids too. Mm-hmm. That's our solution.
Yeah, so this is a bill, it's a bipartisan bill, and it's affecting all public, private, charter, and tribal schools. So basically every school that takes any sort of money.
So the state of Wisconsin is telling private schools that you have to conform to this, and that's why we've been warning you, Mom and Dad. Charter schools, private schools that take even 1 penny from state and federal schools are eventually going to have to conform.
So right now, every one of the 421 school districts in our state has its own policy. Because what do you know? Those schools know more about their students than, I don't know, anyone in Madison.
Local control, right?
I know.
Until, big liberal
comes in.
benefits like this have to be distributed.
All right, but let's just put this bill in, and the bill states that you must provide a meal that is of a similar quality to a free or reduced price meal, a quality meal is what they're calling it, to a pupil who requests such a meal, regardless of the pupil's ability to pay for the meal, and prohibits the governing body from providing a meal of inferior quality in place of a quality meal. So they keep talking about the quality. And the thing is, we already have in place the free or reduced meal system, but we're going to go on top of that. Now, if a pupil is homeless and is enrolled in a public school or an independent charter school, the school has to provide the quality meal at no cost to the pupil. And here's where everything that it prohibits. It prohibits publicly identifying or stigmatizing a pupil who's unable to pay for the meal. Obviously, you can't make them they actually wrote in the bill, you can't make them do chores to get this meal, or you can't throw away food. You can't talk to them directly concerning their ability to pay for this food, and you can't require a pupil or their parents or guardian to pay fees or costs charged by a collection agency.
Why don't they just give one card that you can swipe to every single kid? And the kids who get free lunches, load that for every single free lunch for the course of a school year, load it on so that they can get exactly that many lunches. And then require the non-poverty kids to pay in advance for their lunches, right? And so everybody's got the same card, but you don't know whether the school has loaded money to it or the family has, right? Okay. When we do charitable deeds, when we try to help kids who find themselves in poor circumstances, we can't acknowledge it, right? We can't ask those kids when they're giving a hand up to be grateful for it. That's unjust. It's inequitable, right? To have kids who are being assisted recognize that assistance, right? And to expect there to be some kind of an intellectual and a gratitudinal exchange, we now are banning that on them. By the way, this is socialism, guys, right? That the government will take care of every aspect of your kid's life. It's not enough to give your kids a bad public school education. Now we're going to give them bad Michelle Obama lunches, right? And breakfasts and dinners. And when they get them because they can't afford them, we can't let you know that. We can't let you know that we're helping kids who need help because that's stigmatizing. What you're doing here is you are orienting society to believe everyone's entitled to everything and no one has to be grateful for it.